Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about string methods. Let's get started. As you can see on your screen, we will be talking about some of the string methods. Mind you, these are not all of the string methods available, but we are talking about the major ones. Let's start off by having a string. Let's say we write something like this. So we have a string. JavaScript is awesome. Those properties, those methods that work on a string are known as string methods. Although the file is titled string methods, the first name that we're talking about is not a method. Length is just a property. What is the difference? The difference being you don't put parentheses after length because it's not a function, it's just a property. Length, as you might would have guessed, will give you the total length of the string. Now when we say total length, yes, spaces are counted, space count hote hain. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. The total length will be 21, string.length. The next two functions, indexOf and lastIndexOf, tells you if a smaller string or a character is present in a string or not, and if it is, tease method returns you the index, the position where that string is. Let's understand that with an example. str.indexOf. That is the string chained with indexOf method. IndexOf. Okay, let me show you like this. Yeah, indexOf takes two arguments. The first one, the search string, the string or the character that you want to search for. Let us say I want to search for lowercase s in str. You can see the output being 4. IndexOf is returning the position of the first occurrence of a substring. IndexOf is returning the position of the first time it finds lowercase s. Keep it in mind, it says position or index. Index starts from 0. That is, the j is not at index 1 but at index 0. So j at 0, a at 1, b 2, a 3 and s 4. Hence the answer is 4. And as mentioned in the definition, it returns the first occurrence. It returns the position of the first occurrence. We do have s elsewhere as well, but those will not be considered. indexOf gives you the position of first occurrence, whereas lastIndexOf returns, okay, returns the position of the last occurrence of the substring s. So what it is giving us, it is giving us the position of this particular s. However, both indexOf and lastIndexOf actually accept a second argument as well. That is optional. If you can see search string, that is a mandatory argument. You can find a question mark in front of position that tells us that it is an optional argument. Now, what does it do? Now, we already know the answer to this. As you can see on the screen, it's 4. It is giving us the position of the first s. However, my answer will change if I write a position that will be taking a number. Let's say if I write 5, you can see the answer is now changed to 12. What this position tells us is to find this substring, inside str after or on or after the 5th positioned character. 5th position पे जो character है वहां से लेके rest of the string में जहां s सबसे पहली बार मिलता है, give me its position. Because this s was at index 4, we were not even searching for index 4. हम अपनी start हमारा अपना string का search ही कैरेक्टर 5th से शुरू हुआ, तो 5th से शुरू करते हुए फर्स्ट टाइम जो s मिलता है दैट इज ऑन पोजीशन 12. Hence, our answer is 12. Index of and last index of tells us where a particular substring is in a string. However, both the functions will return -1 if they do not find a particular substring inside a string. Let's say if I try to find a z, as you can see, it is not there, so it will return a -1, depicting what you are searching for is not present. Last index of will also give the same answer. If I write last index of, you can see the answer is still -1. -1 denoting that it could not find the substring that you were searching for inside our string. Index of and last index of both tells you whether a string is present, and if it is, it gives you their location, their index. However, there is another function called includes. Sorry, not index of, includes. Includes only tells us whether a substring is present or not. It's a Boolean function. It will give you a Boolean true if it finds a substring, and false if it doesn't. If I go with an S, you can see the answer as true. If I go with a Z, you can see the answer is false. It's a Boolean function. It will only tell you whether a substring is present or not. All these functions, they only tell us whether a string is present or not, and if it is present here at this particular index. Now, these three functions are responsible for the extraction of a substring from a particular string. When you want to cut out a substring from another string, you use one of these three functions: slice, substring, and substr. We'll start off with slice. Slice takes two arguments: starting position and ending position. Both are numbers. And it returns a section of the string from beginning of the starting position and to the ending of the ending position. Now, what do I mean by that? Let me first give it two numbers. Let's like this: 5, 10. You can see the output being CRIPT. Now let's deduce how we got there. As we know, index starts from 0. So J is at 0, A is at 1, B at 2, 3, S is at 4, C is at 5. Our starting index is 5. So we will start the extraction at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. However, the 10th index is space. The 10th index is space. Now, okay, let me just change it a bit to make you understand. I changed it from 10 to 11. However, you can see the answer is still the same. The 11th character, however, is I. According to our calculation, according to our counting, this is 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th character. That is, our substring should have ended at I. Now, this is a very important point to consider when we are talking about slice. Slice always omits or leaves off the last character. If I wanted to slice from 5th to 11th position, it will only give me from 5th till 10th position. If I wanted to include the I would have to go to index 12, position 12. Slice can also take just one single argument. If I give it only the starting position 5, what it will give us? It will give us the rest of the string from the index 5. इंडेक्स 5 से स्टार्ट करते हुए बची हुई पूरी स्ट्रिंग ये आपको रिटर्न कर देगा. Keep in mind, when we only give a single argument, the last character is not omitted. The last character is not omitted by slice only when we present it with a single argument. And only a single argument is present. Okay, let's move our string down a little. Yeah. Now, the confusing part with slice starts when we present negative argument to slice. Yes, slice can take negative arguments as well. If I were to give it -10 and -5, you can see it is still giving me a valid answer. When we give negative arguments to slice, counting starts from the end, not from the beginning. Now, when the counting is from the ending, the last character is -1, not 0. 0 is the first character. So this E will be at -1. Now we have to first go to -10 and then come back to -5. That will be our answer. -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I is at -10 character, -10 position. -10, -9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Now, as we know with slice, the last character will be omitted. So this is your answer. IS space AW. The last character, the character on -5th position, that is E, was omitted. Let's understand this with another example of negative numbers in slice. If I were to give us this -20 to -5, you can see it starts at A. Now, why at A? If you remember from our first example, the total length is 21. That means if we start at E, E being -1, this will be -20. So -20 to -5. However, the last character is omitted. So this will be our answer from the A of JavaScript to W of awesome. Now, let me ask you guys a question. What will be the answer if I swap the -20 and -5? क्या आंसर आएगा अगर हम -5 पहले लिख दें और -20 बाद में? Pause the video and think for a moment. The answer would actually be nothing, blank. If I swap these two numbers, you would see the answer is nothing. As I just told you, when we are working with negative numbers, yes, we start at the ending, but the character extraction always happen from left to right. When there was -10 to -5, we first went to -10 and then went from right to left, left to right. The counting, the extraction will always happen from left to right. However, in the case of -5 and -20, that is not simply possible. Therefore, the answer would be nothing. Now, as you just saw, slice can take negative arguments. However, if the arguments are not negative, that is, the arguments are just positive to slice, let's say if I were to do something like this, you will see the answer as CRIPT. If the arguments are positive, both the functions slice and substring behave exactly the same. You can see the answer of both the functions to be same. If the arguments are positive, you can use slice or substring. Both will give you the same result. The difference in these two functions is slice does not accept negative arguments. I'm so sorry. Substring does not accept negative arguments. Only slice does. If I were to give some negative arguments to this, let's say -10 and -5, as you can see, only the answer from this is being shown. Substring cannot take negative arguments. So whichever to use, slice, as you can see, has a wide range of arguments. Slice supports wide range of arguments. Substring supports a smaller set of arguments. Which to choose? That is always your personal choice. Slice and substring both extract a string from this position to this position. So does substr, however, with a slight difference. Both the functions slice and substring will take a starting position and an ending position and will extract the characters from there. However, substr what happened? Okay. Okay, so substr is deprecated, so we don't need to study that. Let's remove it, and let's remove it from here as well. It might have been deprecated in ES6. So now we only have two methods for extraction of a string, slice and substring. toUpperCase, toLowerCase. Well, no prize for guessing. These are to change the character case. These functions do not accept any arguments. As you can see, each character is now uppercase, and if I were to do it in lowercase, you can see now each character is in lowercase. Just like CSS, where you have the property to capitalize just the first letter of each word, that is text transform capitalize, you don't have a single property, a single shorthand property to do that in JavaScript. You have to be more creative if you wanted to capitalize only the first letter of each word, which we will study a little later. In JavaScript, what we have methods for is for uppercase and for lowercase. Concat and trim. Concat is actually short for concatenation. Concatenation simply means the joining of two strings. Let me show you. So now we have two strings, str and str1. Concat will simply combine or merge these two strings, something like this. str.concat. Concat accepts either one or more than one strings, and it will concat, it will add those strings to the end of the first string, that is str. If I were to write str.concat str1, and if I were to print it out, it will simply give you something like this. JavaScript is awesome. Then the second string, it is a programming language. If we were to add a full stop, you will see that as well. Concat is not limited to a single parameter argument. You can give as many arguments as you want by simply separating them with comma. What it will do, it will simply concatenate all the strings after the first string. Trim, as the name suggests. Trim removes any white space from the beginning or at the ending of any string. Remember, only at the beginning or at the ending, not in the middle. You see trim on a daily basis in each and every messaging platform that you use, be it WhatsApp, be it Instagram messaging, Facebook messaging, or any other message for that matter. You can try it for yourself as well. Let's say if you were to send a message to your friend on WhatsApp, and that message was something like this: Hi, how are you doing? Something like this. When you type it and you send it, you will see that these blank spaces in the beginning and in the ending, they will be stripped off or they will be trimmed. The message will be sent like this. How does that happen? All the messaging platforms, they actually apply trim function to any of your message that you send. If I were to store that particular string in a variable, if we find out the length of this message, you can see it's 23. Now, why it is 23? It is counting the 3 spaces here and the 3 spaces here. But if I were to trim this and then find out its length, you can see it is only 17. Not remember, 17 is 6 short of 23. Those 6 characters were nothing but spaces. It has removed 3 characters from the beginning and 3 characters from the ending. You also have two, you can say, subset of trim, that is ltrim and rtrim. Sorry, I will leave those functions to you to explore. Replace and replace all. Now, no points for guessing again. Replace is used to replace some part of the string or the whole string with some another string. If I were to take this string only, str.replace. Now, replace takes at least 2 arguments. First, the string that you want to search, and second, the string that you want to replace it with. Now, I'm writing JavaScript and I'm also writing, let's say, React. Now, what this statement would do is it will find this string inside str and will replace it with this particular string. This is the search string and this is the string to replace, and where it will find it? It will find it in str. If I were to print the new string, you can see replace not only replaces this particular string with the new string, it also returns the replaced string, the new message, the new string. It has returned us the new string which we printed on the screen. Replace. However, replace only replaces the first occurrence of the search string. My point being, if JavaScript was present multiple times in the string, replace would have only changed the word JavaScript first time with React. If I were to write it like this, you can see only the first occurrence was replaced, not the further occurrences. If you were to replace all the occurrences, yes, you guessed it, you would use replace all. Now, the arguments that it takes are the same. You can already see the difference. Replace all replaces all the occurrence of the word JavaScript. Remember, JavaScript is a case-sensitive language. That is, the result would have been different if I would have a lowercase j in the search string. Note, JavaScript in our variable is with capital J. However, I was searching for a small j, JavaScript with a small j. Therefore, you can see no change. JavaScript is a case-sensitive language. It understands the difference between lowercase and uppercase. Here's another small assignment for you. What I want you to do is, I want you to find out a method where our method our method replace will replace all the occurrences of the search string, not just the first one. You have to find a method that can do this. That is, you have to change all the occurrences of the search string without using replace all. This takes us to our last function, split. Split. The English word split means to break down. हिंदी में हम उसे कहते हैं बंटवारा कर दें. Now, split breaks a string and converts it into an array. How does split works? Split takes argument a splitter or a separator. If I were to give a blank space in split, okay, to understand it better, let me do it a console log instead of document write. You can see what split has done. Split has broken the string str from where it had found spaces. You can see JavaScript is awesome. JavaScript, all the words have now become the values of an array. Split breaks a string into an array from where it finds the splitter or the separator. Now, split also has an interesting use. What if we did not have any space in our string? Let's say we only had this. And if we put split on this, okay, for some reason name is being shown as deprecated. So let's change the variable name. If I were to do just like this, remember, I have not put up spaces in here. There's just quotes. In this case, what split will do is split will break down each character from the string and put it inside an array. Again, to show it you better, let's console log this. You can now see we have each character as a different value of an array. You might be wondering why or where we would use this. To give you an idea, strings do not have a built-in method to reverse the string. If I were to print JavaScript from the beginning to the ending reversed, we do not have a built-in method for this. There we use split. How exactly? That I will tell you in the next lesson where we talk about array methods. This will be all for this video. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next one.